Let's begin this segment with some breaking inputs coming in as there's a controversy brewing over India versus Pakistan Asia Cup match which continues to escalate. In the latest development, we are learning that Shiv Sena UBT is to hold the Sindoor Raksha Andolan across the entire state on September 14. This to protest against the India-Pakistan match with regards to, of course, Operation Sindoor. On one hand, they are saying that this is an insult to all of those who fought for the nation during Operation Sindoor, and which is why the Shiv Sena UBT is now going to, in fact, hold that Sindoor Raksha Andolan across the entire state of Maharashtra. This on September 14 to protest against the India-Pakistan match. And remember, this row has been brewing for quite some time now. But in the latest, there's also much politicization that's also begun. And what we can tell you is that Shiv Sena UBT is now going to be holding a protest against the Asia Cup match against India-Pakistan. They're saying that why should sports be given any kind of benefit when it comes to India's own national interest policies. Let's quickly go across to Yesha, who will shed more light. Yesha, what is the demand behind this protest of Shiv Sena UBT?
So yes, absolutely. In fact, when we speak of for a very long time, leaders from Shiv Sena UBT have been questioning the Indo-Pak match that should be played end of this week. We've in fact seen how leaders such as Thackeray, they have raised question that in a wake of Operation Sindoor, there was a comment with Pakistan. However, with the fact that Indo-Pak match is being played, is a question that's being asked, particularly with the leaders stating that has the government forgotten the promise that it had made to people of the country. Of course, we have also seen how the government, the central government has gone to clarify their stance, saying that when it comes to a development like this, it's an international platform, and which is where such biases cannot really be brought in between. But when we speak of this match now that is being played, we've seen how the Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut took to social media questioning the stance of the government, also sharing a picture of the victims of a Pahalgam attack, and they've gone further. The Shiv Sena UBT has gone further to clarify that they'll be holding a protest led by women on September 14, which will be called the Sindoor Raksha protest against the match that's being played between India and Pakistan. Yes.
Absolutely, and we've seen that this has been in the making for a while earlier as well. Priyanka Chaturvedi was very vocal about it. She said that this lacks moral courage. If you could also take us through the voices that have come out of Shiv Sena UBT and what have they had to say?
So when we speak of the voices that have come out of Shiv Sena when it comes to this very issue, like you rightly mentioned, Priyanka Chaturvedi called it that this was not correct. But apart from that, we also heard the Shiv Sena leader, Uddhav, Thackeray, taking a strong stance against this very match that was taking place, questioning, in fact, some also went on to further question the moral right of the central government on the grounds that when a match like this takes place, it clearly means that both the countries will come face to face, and also stating that the government has not really taken a stance in the favor of victims of Pahalgam attack. Yes.
All right, stay with me. Let me quickly go across to Pallavi as well. Pallavi, Chaturvedi is someone who's also said that she's dismayed by the insistence of both the BCCI and the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, this when it comes to pushing for India's participation, particularly in the Asia Cup. What is it that you're learning from your sources? How has the BCCI so far responded?
Well, I think the sports minister made it also very clear while the parliament was going on, and that essentially echoes the stand of the BCCI. India will never engage in a bilateral match with Pakistan, but when you are in part of the larger multilateral match, that is where India gets involved, and nothing to do with only India and Pakistan. Yes, it's a match which is being played out between India and Pakistan, but it's a part of a larger bilateral series. Yes, they have come in for a lot of flack. The government has, the BCCI has, and I think we should be knowing now whether the courts are really going to have a say on it. But the politics over it has been extreme. I remember when the sports bill was being presented in the monsoon session of Parliament, the sports minister had been asked this question, and he had mentioned just what I was just saying, that if you're a part of a multilateral multi-country tournament, then India cannot go and bid for Olympic Games or the Commonwealth Games because it's a black mark against us. So that's the reason why we are playing this match. But there's no question of any kind of a bilateral tournament as far as Pakistan is concerned.
Pallavi, what's also interesting is that Shiv Sena UBT, particularly Priyanka Chaturvedi, have also highlighted that there's always been this battle of principles over sportsmanship. And even Olympics has been dotted with several examples over decades. South Africa had boycotted Olympics during apartheid. Pakistan refused to play in India. So how is one responding to this? In fact, they're also giving examples of 1990 to 91 when India had boycotted playing with Pakistan as far as Asia Cup is concerned. So the demand is, why can't that be followed yet again?
Yes, so this is an argument which is also being given by many in the opposition, but equally by the government as well. As I mentioned, the government says that if you're a part of the multilateral tournaments, if you want to engage in multi-game international big tournaments, we cannot be seen as nitpicking, or we cannot be seen as saying no. But on the other hand, the point is that as far as opposition parties are concerned, the opposition parties, particularly Chaturvedi, has made it very, very clear that, you cannot play games or indulge in cultural ties with a country which has scant regard and respect and which indulges in acts of terrorism against you.
Many thanks to you, Pallavi and Gesha, for bringing us those latest inputs and putting that entire controversy into perspective for us.